What's up guys, my name is Solstin, and welcome to a guide on how to become a vampire in Elder Scrolls Online.
I'm going to be a vampire.
Elder Scrolls. So there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the whole vampire werewolf thing in Elder Scrolls, mainly with people selling bites. Now it seems like a major problem to some people and not really a problem at all to others, but there are groups of people going around, and whether it's roleplay reasons or just being a dick, they are killing the rare spawns that cause the bites. Now there's a lot of different reasons behind this, and I don't really want to get into the politics of it. Now whether you're killing the vampire spawns because you're a werewolf and you hate them, or you're killing the werewolf spawns because you're a vampire and you hate them, or if you're just a vampire monster hunter and you're killing them all because they're abominations, I don't know. And I don't care. You know why I became a vampire? The buffs. Now the first active effect that you'll notice is called vampirism. Now this happens when you get attacked by a blood fiend that can infect you, and this is what starts the quest. After completing the quest and becoming a vampire, you'll notice you have Stage 1 Vampirism. Now this will go to Stage 2, 3, and 4 consecutively if you do not feed on a humanoid NPC after a while, but there are passives later on to mitigate how much health regeneration you lose. So it's not that big of a deal, aside from the fire damage. Don't do PvP as a vampire. Unless you're, into that. Now let's take a look at the skills. For your ultimate, you've got Bat Swarm. Now this is basically if you want to feel like Batman, you summon a bunch of bats to attack an enemy, and it does 122 damage every 5 seconds, and that's just a start, so that's 610 damage. So for your active abilities, you start out with Drain Essence. Now this one does about half as much damage as Bat Swarm, but you do regain health from attacking an enemy. Your second ability is Mist Form. Now this makes you invisible, and you only take 25% of the damage you normally would. You can't be healed or anything during that, but it is good for getting away. It's reminiscent of when in doubt, bubble out. Now the passives are exactly why I chose this. So we start off with Savage Feeding. Now with this ability, once you're feeding on a target, they'll be off balance and stunned for 2 seconds, and that's just a nice bonus to having your lunch. Who said you can't have your cake and kill it too? Now, Supernatural Recovery is exactly why I've picked this class. It increases your magicka and stamina recovery by 5%, and that's just at rank 1. Blood Ritual is the bread and butter of those playing the market of vampire bites. Once every week, you can turn another player into a vampire, so they don't even have to go looking for the rare spawns. You can go to them. This is great for roleplay, great for propagating the vampire population. Terrible because it creates a superiority complex in a lot of people. But I'm not going to get into that. Of course, you cannot infect a player who has lycanthropy. We've all seen Underworld, we know why. But one day, a man will come along who can have both, and his skin will go all weird blue-blackish, and he'll turn into Greed from Full Metal Alchemist. Now, Undeath is a good passive for tanks, and pretty much anybody who doesn't like dying. When your health gets low, you take less damage. I don't see the downside to this. Unnatural Resistance is what's going to help for later on. Normally when you go through the stages of vampirism, if you don't feed, your health recovery goes lower and lower and lower until you get to stage 4 when you only have about 25% health recovery. With Unnatural Resistance, it's going to offset that, so you'll have a little bit more, and later stages of vampirism won't be that bad. Now for the career choice of many MMO players, Dark Stalker.
That was terrible!
Horrendous!
I'm offended!
I'm appalled!
So what are we gonna do?
Well, what else? Email it to everybody we know!
Good idea.
Now it increases your movement speed while sneaking, which is very important because you have to sneak up on humanoid NPCs to feed on them, which you'll be doing very often if you don't want to go into the later stages of vampirism. It also lets you stealth a lot quicker at night, which is kinda cool. I don't see how it's going to be very effective. The movement speed increase is what's really drawing me to this. Now this is what might seem a little bit confusing. The vampire line does not advance by using the abilities in it, it actually advances based on your own XP. So the higher level you are, the more XP you're gaining from enemies, the faster vampire will level up. Now there's been a lot of secrecy as to the details of how to get vampirism or werewolfism, lycanism, I don't know. And I don't know if that's because people are withholding the information on purpose to sort of quell the population, or if it's just People don't know. They haven't figured out the algorithms. The game is still fairly new. Now in each faction there's only one region that has blood fiends that spawn that will actually let you contract vampirism. And those areas are Bankorai for the Daggerfall Covenant, the Rift for the Ebonheart Pact, and Reaper's March for the Aldmeri Dominion. So I'm sure as a lot of you have noticed, there is a day and night cycle in the game, and it actually takes quite a while to cycle through. And apparently there's moon phases, or something. The only information I've been able to find is that for a day and a half, every 8 days, the blood fiends will spawn. Only at night. Now as with any rare spawn, the key to this is dedication. Keep checking back at the spawn points. This is where I got bit. Now the process for getting infected once you find the blood fiends is very simple. Let them hit you. That's it. Now I do believe, and don't correct me on this, but it is a 100% infection rate when you get hit by a blood fiend. Fact. There won't be any sort of notification for it though, so check your character sheet for that vampirism active ability that I mentioned earlier. Now after you become infected, you're going to want to look for this guy. He's usually located by the way shrine closest to the vampire shrine. Now his location is different based on which faction you're with, but he's not that hard to find. When you talk to him, it'll activate a quest marker on your map that will send you to the vampire shrine. It looks a little something like this. Now then you go inside the altar, and I didn't get any footage of it, but it's a very easy and a very simple quest. You just have to be a high enough level to take out a couple of level 40 guys. Like 10 of them. Not at the same time though, so it's actually not that bad. Now if you're able to take out anybody in and around the 35 range, you'll be okay. You do get the vampire skills to do this quest, so you have to actually drain them. Now this drain will take down probably a good half of their health bar. You just have to do the rest. Now once you've completed the quest and you leave the tomb, you'll notice your face goes pale, your eyes go red, and damn, you are a vampire. And then you'll have the option, if you wanted to redo the quest, you can actually go talk to a priest to reverse it if you wanted to turn back into a human. But then you lose out on all those sick passives, bro. And if you want to be a vampire, you have to actually go find blood fiends again during the right moon cycle and blah 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 blah. You go through the whole shebang again. Why would you want to do that? And that's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, leave a like. Subscribe to see more videos like this, or some that are nothing at all like this. As always, I'll see you next time, guys. I've got to go. Start with a little bit of lightning, sunder his armor, and you know, maybe turn myself into lightning here, and he's dead. So I forgot to summon my familiar, which is a very nice. It's quiet. Too quiet. This place is the ghost town. Cheryl.
I'll be honest, every single time I read
Cheryl?
a name, a name like any subtitle in a game, in the back of my head I hear Heavy Rain.